All right, we're here with the cast and crew of the Great Hip Hop Hoax, straight from Scotland. When did you guys get in?
Sunday? We got here Sunday.
And the trip's been good so far?
It's been incredible, absolutely fantastic.
It's 2 days without sleep and 1 night of crazy alcoholism,
So an all-around kind of balanced day and night.
So good. Great.
This is for all of you. You can just kind of answer in order. What was kind of the genesis of this project, and how did it, really get off the ground?
I read about the story, and I just thought it just seemed like a film. I love documentaries that feel like they could be a fiction. It's just a crazy story that is even better because it's real. So I contacted Gavin like a few days later, and just started filming really soon. Then we contacted Billy, and kind of took it from there, really.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a journey, but we got there.
Sure. So, growing up in Scotland, obviously, before all this happened, I mean, y'all are very talented musicians, just as a rule. What were y'all listening to in your bedrooms, like as far as hip-hop and rap before all this started?
I think we kind of when we hooked up at college, it was the likes. We kind of just started quoting Tupac lyrics and Wu-Tang Clan. And we started talking about films that we like Menace Society or Don't Be a Menace in the Hood, well, 7 on a 40 or whatever it's called. But yeah, just all the kind of early underground New York stuff with a little bit of the California West Coast.
A lot of classic stuff as well, just your standard. It seems like it's a standard answer to say if you're into hip hop or you're a rapper, but that's what we grew up with, with all the classics that were coming out in New York and everything as well. And a lot of the underground stuff you say, like Big L, all that kind of side as well. We grew up with all that.
Big
right.
E, Big Pun, all that, all the big guys.
Awesome.
Notorious B.I.G., Biggie Smalls, Big, all that lot.
For sure. So the journey kind of starts out, from what I can tell, you had an audition for a record company, and because of the Scottish accents,
yeah,
you weren't really getting any traction or play.
Yeah, we were really good. When we first met, we kind of brainwashed ourselves into becoming really, really tight MCs. So probably spent the first year just in rooms and bedrooms and fucking at lunchtime at college just battle rapping each other. We got really, really good. But yeah, we went down to this audition. It was are you the next Eminem? And everyone that heard us kind of said, oh, yeah, you guys are like Eminem. But with their Scottish ears, they were like, well, yeah, you sound like a Scottish Eminem. So we went down and we just got laughed at. It's sounds like the rapping for Flamers.
I mean, as far as skill, and I mean, there wasn't. I mean,
we didn't even listen to the skill. It's 15 seconds in.
And it was just the Scottish accent.
Yeah, they're just oh god, what the fuck is this?
I think we were naive enough to believe that talent was all that really mattered, and it wasn't until we got down there that we realised that wasn't the case. In the industry, it was there's a lot more to it than that, and the accent was going to hold us back.
It was 90% image and 10% talent. And we thought it was the other way around.
And so after that experience, is that kind of the genesis of?
Yeah, we were heartbroken. We were fucking torn apart. And we went back up. It was a 13-hour bus journey back up to Dundee from London. And
13 hours.
13 hours, and we just sat there, kind of what do we do now? Because we're failing at college, and we want to just quit that. So we didn't really know what to do. And we kind of toyed with the idea of oh, maybe we should just go back down and be American. And then we were calling up people in a Scottish accent, trying to find out shit, and they were just kind of not letting us through the calls. And then we saw a film, American film called The Secret of My Success, and that was around about the time we were really stressing with the idea, should we do it? And I saw that film, I was well, if a character like that could lie their way through a company setup,
then you can do it too.
Yeah. I was thinking of Catalyst. Can I give a longer answer?
Of course. So,
I'm hungover.
It's okay. So the amount of research that kind of went into these roles you created, I mean, was there a lot of research, or was it just kind of on the fly, these are the characters?
We were we did it on
Bill.
we
You
did
can't
it.
answer that.
No, we were doing it on a day-to-day basis anyway. I mean, we grew up skateboarding, snowboarding, and we were those jackass characters. So we were always playing around. You know, it wasn't like we just decided one day let's learn Japanese. So we had to start from scratch. You know, we were doing it anyway. So it's almost second nature. So we just kind of added to that, I guess, and went to it and ran with it.
Start to look at it like character actors, you know, getting it like.
Well, you each had like,
method acting.
and you each had a persona like based on.
Yeah, we had our
what we'd seen
favorite.
in film, or characters like. Do you mean celebrities, rappers, people that we'd seen in film, or we looked at them? We just kind of thought, right, this is the character we wanted to build, and then we just created a backstory, and we just became that character. You know?
I would say we spent too much time on the characters and like the accents and how believable they were, than actually researching anything about, you know, where we went to school, when we left school. We didn't know any of that shit.
Right, all the details that
Yeah,
might be researched.
There was no Google Maps back then, so
Right.
there were some sticky situations.
So when did you finally kind of get the feeling that this might work? Like when it kind of gone from just a discussion maybe on a train ride back to this is working. I mean, you know.
I mean, we made a number of phone calls as Scottish guys, you know, at first, and then it wasn't until once we said as a joke, like an American, I said, "Hey, we're from California," and the response was different. And then we kind of just stepped back and thought,
"Oh, I better get my boss."
You bastards! Like, I mean, why? Why does it make a difference whether we're speaking to you in American accents or? So therefore, that's the first time we realised this can work, and then we kind of progressed from there, you know. Took it to the next level.
Sure. And then how far was it from when you kind of conceived it to when you signed the big contract? I mean, it was like a $350,000 contract.
It felt like forever, but
Yeah,
it was really just almost immediately.
yeah. I mean, from the first show that we did, we'd be sound checking, and people like other MCs would be walking past, and they'd be like looking at us, and be like, "Oh my god, those guys sound like Eminem." Oh, they're obviously really tight, but they're willing to listen now because they hear an American accent, so they're willing to listen to the lyrics. So I think after that first show we did as well, it was like
first show was the response we got from the first show was basically like, wow. So, I mean, we got asked to come to meetings and things, so that was it. It just kind of and it just snowballed really quickly from there.
It got scary when there was money on the table. That was the point where it was like, oh fuck, now we can't turn back.
And was there a discussion like trying to remember little details? I mean that's a big part of the film. You know, kind of a lie built on a lie built on a lie.
The thing is, we would just get drunk and keep telling.
Did that make it easier?
No, but we'd wake up in the morning and be like, what the fuck what did you say last night? Like, oh, I said this. And
a lot of people ask us,
you're inbred.
Like, did we like when you got drunk, did your accent not slip back into Scottish? And I think it was the opposite effect. You know, the more drunk we got, the more American stereotype we became. You know, and the louder we got. But Gav was a fan of always adding extra bits on, you know, so we'd be going, we're like, oh shit, he just told that lie and then that lie. So like you say, the lie just built upon a lie, upon a lie, upon a lie before you knew it. Like, Jesus, he was the ex-president of the United States. You know?
That was a good term.
You were Jimmy Carter suddenly.
But no, well, yeah, it was kind of like, we weren't supposed to be going down there and making all these other legs of the story, but within 3 months, we were meeting with managing companies, and they thought that we were telling them that, I was telling them that we were best friends with Eminem, and we were actually a part of.
And D12.
Yeah, we were part of their crew, and so that's the kind of shock. Like, you know, months down the line, we get the phone call being like, "Oh, your friends are coming over." Like our manager at the time, Del, was like, "Oh, your friends are coming over." It was like, "What the fuck?" It was like, "D12. Yeah, you guys are going to support D12 tonight." It was like, "Oh shit," because everyone's going to be like, turn up and look at the kind of the reunion of these great friends, and we'd obviously never met them in our life.
It's in the film that's like really. Let's go back.
Thank you, back enough.
I was going to say that.
For me, it's really fun that there's all these little moments that keep just
turning the screw a little more.
Exactly.
And it's captured
Are they
really well
going to
in the
get
film.
caught? And these guys' relationship. I mean, it's so strange for me that over this whole time, it's only since we've been in Austin. You know, it's Gavin's first time to America, and since we've been in Austin, it's the time where all three of us have actually been together for the very first time. Because I'd filmed Billy and I'd filmed Gavin, but we were opposite ends of the country. So it's very interesting. It's still really surreal for me to see you guys
see it all sit down at once.
Actually speaking to each other and being like nice to each other.
That's all an
Quite
act.
interesting.
That's all an act.
And then one last question, we'll wrap it up. We're kind of close on our 10 minutes. a lot of the film's press is kind of, you know, what you'll do for the American dream, and I kind of feel like it's not the American, you know, it's a world dream. It's, you know, successful and pursuing your dreams and wanting it to be successful. And so ultimately, what do you think it's worth? I mean, what's the ultimate cost of trying to achieve that by any means?
It's a good question. I mean, I think when we started off, we had this idea of what success was, and we thought it was the same as fame. You know, we just wanted to be successful and be respected. But along the way, we kind of saw how easy it was to get fame, and we kind of fell for many traps and exposed many traps in the same way. But really, we kind of came to the understanding that success was just making it on your own terms, you know, and being happy with making it. And fame is kind of like this dirty, dangerous little game.
I think the consequence of the whole thing is shown in the film. You know, like how different, how far we became. We were best friends when we first started. You know, and the journey that we went through and the distance we travelled apart from each other, like emotionally, Jeanie, as well as physically, and it was just yeah, it's captured really well. It's like how much that can impact on you. You know, like the stress of going through what we went through.
I just the thing for me as well is the idea that the idea of America is just so well known. Like the first time I landed in New York, I was like, oh right, this is like Friends, you know, because everything looked familiar.
We can make some more noises in the background. I'd like to build up a bit more atmosphere.
But is that like a train?
I said, no, that might actually just be, it turns into New York just for South by here. I mean, it could be anything almost.
Is that your alarm to say 10 minutes are up?
But just the idea that even if you've never been to America, you can learn enough about it from TV. For these guys pulled off this crazy thing. And all they did to research it was put the television set on. You know, that just seems amazing.
It's glamorized through film and TV, like throughout the world, like you say. You know, it's not just an American dream. It's a dream that everyone is able to have because of what they see on from America. You know, so I guess that's what.
Have you been to England?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so imagine everything that you've ever seen on television or on film about England.
Like everything's Downton Abbey or everything's some cobblestone road. And it's obviously not like that.
Okay, so imagine pretending to be English for like 2 or 3 years to every single person that you met, 24 hours a day, but you've only got what you've seen in films and television to
go
guide
on.
you.
That
blows my mind.
I can't even. I mean, I'm not too naive to think this, but I think it's much easier for y'all to do an American accent than it would be me to pass with someone with a Scottish accent. So I think in some ways
I found out about a guy that we actually toured with. Who was also doing it, but he was from Germany and he was putting on an American. You know Mike from Hypocycle?
Oh yeah.
He was.
That's right. Yeah,
he came out to me like we were on a tube and he was like he sat down next to me and he was speaking and his accent was different. He was like, "Hey, what's happened to your accent?" I was like, "What happened to your fucking accent?" And it was like he's like, "Oh, I'm actually from Germany." And he got off the train. I was like, "Brilliant." I was duped this whole time.
Awesome. Well, thank y'all so much. The world premiere is Friday, right?
Thursday.
Thursday.
4:15 at the Stateside Theatre.
All right.
It's screening on Friday
as well. And we'll definitely be there. And congratulations on the film. You know, we're so glad y'all got to premiere it here. And thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.